Top 10 most scenic public golf courses in the US. If you're a golfer, you know sometimes the view is just as important as the shot. Across the US, there are public courses that don't just challenge your game, they take your breath away. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most scenic public golf courses in the country. From ocean cliffs to desert canyons, these are the places where every round feels unforgettable. Let's tee it up. 10th. Bandon Dunes, Pacific Dunes, Oregon. Starting our countdown at number 10 is Pacific Dunes at Bandon Dunes Golf Resort in Oregon. This Tom Doak masterpiece represents links golf in its purest form, carved naturally into the rugged Oregon coastline where massive dunes meet the endless Pacific Ocean. What makes Pacific Dunes extraordinary isn't just its design, it's the feeling that you're playing golf at the edge of the world. The course winds through towering dunes covered in native grasses, with holes that seem to emerge organically from the landscape rather than being imposed upon it. The constant Pacific breeze carries the scent of salt air and the sound of crashing waves, creating an atmosphere that's both invigorating and humbling. Every hole offers a different perspective of this wild coastline. You'll find yourself standing on elevated tees, looking out over rolling fairways that disappear into dunes, with the ocean stretching endlessly beyond. The course changes dramatically with weather conditions. One day might offer crystal-clear views to the horizon, while another presents a mystical experience as fog rolls in from the sea. 9. The Ocean Course at Kiawah Island, South Carolina. At number 9, we have the Ocean Course at Kiawah Island, a Pete Dye creation that hugs nearly 3 miles of pristine Atlantic coastline in South Carolina. This course gained worldwide attention as the site of the 1991 Ryder Cup, but golfers remember it just as much for its stunning ocean views as for its challenging design. What sets this course apart is how Dye incorporated the natural coastal environment into his design. Holes run parallel to the beach, offering unobstructed ocean views, while others weave through coastal vegetation and around tidal marshes. The famous finishing stretch includes holes that play directly along the shoreline, where the sound of crashing waves provides a dramatic soundtrack to your round. The course's elevation changes, though subtle, provide different perspectives of the coastal landscape. From elevated tees, you can see for miles across the water, while approach shots often play toward greens framed by the ocean horizon. It's a place where the boundary between the golf course and the natural coastal environment becomes beautifully blurred. 8. Pebble Beach Golf Links, California. Number 8 brings us to perhaps the most famous public golf course in America, Pebble Beach Golf Links in California. While the green fees might make your wallet lighter, this iconic course remains technically public and offers views that have inspired golfers for over a century. The famous holes along the ocean, particularly the stretch from the 4th through the 10th, offer some of the most photographed golf scenes in the world. Standing on the 7th tee, a short par 3 that plays directly toward the ocean, you're treated to views that encompass Carmel Bay, Point Lobos, and miles of rugged coastline. The 8th hole, a demanding par 4, requires a second shot played across a corner of the ocean to a green perched on a rocky outcrop. What makes Pebble Beach special isn't just the ocean holes, it's how the entire course flows through this coastal environment. Inland holes wind through Torrey Pines and offer glimpses of Carmel Bay, while the oceanside holes provide that heart-stopping drama that makes this course legendary. The combination of championship golf and unparalleled natural beauty creates an experience that every golfer dreams of having. Siedme Kapalua Plantation Course, Hawaii. At number 7, we travel to paradise itself, the Plantation Course at Kapalua on Maui, Hawaii. This Ben Crenshaw and Bill Coore design sits on the slopes of the West Maui Mountains, offering golfers a tropical golf experience unlike anywhere else in the world. The Plantation Course is famous for its dramatic elevation changes and sweeping ocean views that encompass multiple Hawaiian islands. From various points on the course, you can see Molokai, Lanai, and on clear days, even the Big Island in the distance. What makes this course visually stunning is the contrast between the lush, tropical vegetation and the deep blue Pacific Ocean that forms the backdrop to nearly every hole. Rolling fairways are bordered by native Hawaiian plants, creating a landscape that's both wild and refined. The trade winds that blow across the course add an element of challenge while also providing cooling relief in the tropical climate. 6th, Whistling Straits, Straits Course, Wisconsin. Coming in at number 6 is the Straits Course at Whistling Straits in Wisconsin, a peat dye design that transforms the American Midwest into something resembling the rugged coastlines of Ireland and Scotland. Built along 2 miles of Lake Michigan shoreline, this course proves that you don't need an ocean to create dramatic coastal golf. Whistling Straits sits on bluffs that rise 40 feet above Lake Michigan, offering commanding views across the water that stretches to the horizon like an inland sea. Dye's design philosophy was to create an old-world links experience, and he succeeded by incorporating 11,000 bunkers and extensive use of fescue grasses that create a wild, windswept appearance. The course's visual appeal comes from its seamless integration with the natural landscape. Rolling fairways flow naturally across the bluffs, while deep bunkers and native grasses create a landscape that looks like it evolved over centuries rather than being constructed. 5. Pasatiempo Golf Club, California. At number 5, we have Pasatiempo Golf Club, an Alistair Mackenzie masterpiece that sits in the hills above Santa Cruz, California. This 1929 design combines Golden Age architecture with natural California beauty, creating a course that's both historically significant and visually spectacular. Pasatiempo's setting on the Monterey Peninsula provides sweeping views of Monterey Bay and the Santa Cruz Mountains. The course is built on rolling terrain that Mackenzie used brilliantly, creating holes that flow naturally across canyons and ridgelines. Ancient oak trees dot the landscape, providing both beauty and strategic challenges, while native chaparral and coastal vegetation create a distinctly California aesthetic. The visual appeal of Pasatiempo comes from Mackenzie's genius for working with natural terrain. Rather than moving massive amounts of earth, he routed holes to take advantage of existing landforms, creating playing corridors that feel like they've always been part of the landscape. Deep barrancas, canyons, cut across several holes, adding both visual drama and strategic complexity. Number 4. Arcadia Bluffs, Michigan. Number 4 takes us to Arcadia Bluffs in Michigan, a link-style course that sits on bluffs 180 feet above Lake Michigan. This Warren Henderson design proves that the Great Lakes can provide scenery every bit as dramatic as any ocean course. Arcadia Bluffs offers commanding views across Lake Michigan that extend to the horizon, creating the illusion of playing beside an inland sea. The course is built on former farmland that was transformed into a links-style layout, complete with deep bunkers, native fescue grasses, and wide, rolling fairways that capture the essence of traditional seaside golf. What makes this course particularly stunning is how the lake views are integrated into the golf experience. The 5th hole, for example, plays from an elevated tee to a fairway that sits on the edge of the bluff, with Lake Michigan forming the entire backdrop to your tee shot. The wind off the lake adds both challenge and atmosphere, while the changing light on the water creates different moods throughout the day. It links golf in its purest form, set against one of America's most beautiful lakeshores. 3. Chambers Bay, Washington. At number 3, we have Chambers Bay in Washington, a Robert Trent Jones Jr. design built on a former sand and gravel quarry along Puget Sound. This course gained international attention when it hosted the 2015 US Open, but golfers remember it equally for its unique setting and stunning water views. Chambers Bay sits on a dramatic site that overlooks Puget Sound, with views that encompass the Olympic Mountains, Mount Rainier, and the waters of the South Sound. The course is built on rolling terrain that was shaped by the former quarry operations, creating a links-style layout with wide fairways, deep bunkers, and extensive areas of fescue grass. Second, Sand Hollow, Championship Course, Utah. Coming in at number 2 is Sand Hollow Golf Course in Hurricane, Utah, a John Fort design that showcases the otherworldly beauty of southern Utah's red rock country. This course offers a golf experience unlike anywhere else in America, where every hole is framed by dramatic sandstone cliffs and desert landscapes. Sand Hollow sits in a valley surrounded by towering red rock formations that create a natural amphitheater for golf. The course routing weaves through this desert environment, with holes that play around, over, and between massive sandstone outcroppings. What makes Sand Hollow visually spectacular is the way the course integrates with the natural desert landscape. Rather than fighting the environment, the design embraces it, creating holes where red rock formations serve as both hazards and backdrops. The par 3 holes are particularly memorable, with several requiring carries over desert washes to greens that are carved into the base of towering cliffs. First, Torrey Pines, South Course, California. And at number 1, we have Torrey Pines, South Course in La Jolla, California. This municipal course, redesigned by Rhys Jones, sits on bluffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean and offers a combination of championship golf and world-class scenery that's available to any golfer willing to book a tee time. Torrey Pines South occupies one of the most spectacular settings in golf, perched on cliffs that rise 300 feet above the Pacific Ocean. The course offers panoramic views that encompass the La Jolla coastline, the Scripps Institution of Oceanography Pier, and miles of pristine Pacific coastline. On clear days, you can see Mexico, while the Channel Islands are visible in the distance. It's a course where you can play the same holes as the world's best golfers while enjoying views that rival any private club in the world. And that's the list of the top 10 most scenic public golf courses in the US. These are the courses where you don't just play golf. Which one's your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. We've got more golf guides on the way. See you out there.